Welcome back, everybody, to the St. Louis State Jazzcats Dynasty. It has been a little bit since I've made the last upload, but I hope everybody had a great holiday and had some fantastic food. Today we're going to be taking on our rivals in Missouri State, and we beat them last year 25-7 after arguably the greatest performance of Jordan Maltese's short stint as St. Louis State Jazzcats quarterback. He ran more yards than he threw, but he was vital in our win against Missouri State last year. Now, we have never lost a game in this rivalry, and hopefully that remains today as we face them as one of our last games this season. We are on a winning streak. Well, we were until it was ended last week by Louisiana Tech, but we will try to restart a win streak today against Missouri State. Taking a look at their defense, it is a decent one, but we have the #1 defense in the conference. And their wide receiver that you looked at on the screen a little bit earlier, Ryan Boyd, he is first in Conference USA in receiving yards and also first in touchdowns. We also have a couple players visiting today. So we have Marquise Funces, who is visiting today, as well as fullback Terrence Aguilar, who is visiting today. We also have Quandre Moncrief, who is a 3-star, well-rounded right guard out of Crystal Lake, Illinois, and he's going to be visiting this week, and he is someone that I would love to shore up the interior line. Isaac Yazzie is a 3-star will linebacker that we really like, and hopefully we can get as well out of Illinois. He is visiting this week, and last but not least, Mike Couch, who was the other linebacker, is also visiting this week. Also, if we win today, we can move up in the conference standings, and if we don't lose another conference game this year, we have a really good shot of going to the conference championship, which starting this season 0-4, no one really would have thought that was an option. First and 10, Dante Selvia is going to take the snap, and he's going to hand it off to Antoine Riverman to start this game, and that is going to be a gain of 7. We're going to see a little bit more running back split today, as Antoine Riverman's getting the majority of the load all season, but we're going to see a little bit more variety today as Antoine Riverman gets the first down. We're going to hand it to him 3 plays in a row, and he's going to get another first down and a big gain. That is near the 50-yard line as Lucas Mangiello goes down on the play. We send Antoine Riverman in motion, and he gets the ball for the 4th play in a row. And that is going to be a short gain of 2 on the design screen. Second and 8, Antoine Riverman, we stay with him, and that is a gain of 3, making it 3rd and medium. Have a mesh concept here in 12 personnel. Dante Selvia rolls left, and he finds his man. That is DeLorean Hampton on the catch, and a gain of 24. First and 10 now into the Missouri State red zone already. We hand it off to Antoine Riverman one more time, and that is a gain of 3 on the play. Now at the 17-yard line, we're going to come out and mesh one more time, and we're going to target DeLorean Hampton again, but this time he drops it. No gain on the play, 3rd and 7 still. Dante Selvia surveys the field. He finds Amin Belfast, who cuts up the field, and that is a touchdown, St. Louis State. And that is as good of a drive as you can start the game out with. Leading by a touchdown against your rival must be a good feeling, and as a Colts fan, it is refreshing to see as we've been losing against our rivals as of recent. This is Cole Feuerbacher taking the field to lead the Missouri State offense for their first drive of the day. It is a play-action pass. He drops back, and he's going to target Iverson Young, the captain running back, who gets a huge gain on the play, gain of 21. First and 10 for them. He is as dynamic as a back as you'll see in Conference USA, but we have a defense that can wrap him up like McBrien did that play for a loss of 2. Feuerbacher targets deep, and that is broken up by Donovan McIntosh. 3rd and 12 now, and is going to be a play-action pass again. They're going to find their man. That is Ryan Boyd, the #1 receiver in the conference statistically on the catch, but they do not get the conversion, so they punt to us, and we come back right up their gut with Antoine Riverman. Once again, he makes a man miss, and that is a first down. He is averaging pretty much 10 yards a carry, it feels like already. It's going to be a direct snap to him this time, and it is a loss of 1. Maybe I spoke too soon about his averages. 2nd and 11, halfway through the first quarter now. Dante Selvia, it's going to be a screen pass to Antoine Riverman, but he gets wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. And yeah, we'll get him out. Now we got a little Diamond Spreewell in the backfield and a little Seattle concept. That is Amon Belfast on the catch, and we get the conversion on 3rd and long. 1st and 10 now at the 48. We're still on our side of the field, however. Dante Selvia has a little bit of time. He floats it, and Amon Belfast doesn't even attempt to catch that, even though it was in his area, in his proximity. 2nd and 10, Dante Selvia tries to buy some time, and he chucks it deep in contested coverage, and we are lucky that that is not intercepted near the pylon. Dante Selvia has a little bit of inaccuracy issues rolling to his left. This time he rolls to his right, tries to buy himself some time, but it seems his card declined. 1st and 10 now for Missouri State. Feuerbacher takes a snap and hands it off to Ramon Green Jr., who gets stopped in the backfield for a loss of 3. We are sending lots of pressure today, and it works there. Well, it doesn't. He catches it. That is Brendan McQueen on the catch. I thought he dropped it. 3rd and short now. We get a hit on the quarterback, but he still delivers it. That is now Ramon Green Jr. spinning our defense out. Donovan McIntosh lost in coverage. After a 4-yard loss on 1st down, they're going to hand it off to Ramon Green on 2nd down, and it is a 1-yard loss there as well. 3rd and long. I will love to keep Missouri State in these 3rd and longs all game. Feuerbacher back there, and he gets sacked. We had about 4 Jazzcats in the backfield there as Feuerbacher gets hit by an orchestra of Jazzcat defenders. 1st and 10 now. We send DeLorean Hampton in motion, and that is going to be another handoff to Antoine Riverman, who's been getting stopped ever since that first drive. A minute left in the first quarter, and Dante Selvia holds onto the ball way too long and gets sacked. That is their first sack of the day. Jazzcats defense has 2. Dante Selvia has some time. He tests single coverage, and that is Caleb Merritt wide open. He accelerates, and that is another St. Louis State Jazzcats touchdown, this time to the quarterback-wide receiver combo. He plays both sides, and he salutes as he gets the Jazzcats' 2nd touchdown on the board. That was great protection. He just beats the press coverage. And yeah, that will be a touchdown all day. A little underthrown, but hey, as long as that is 7 on the board, I am happy. Missouri State quickly takes the field back, and then is nearly intercepted by Matthew Green, but he drops it. And on that RPO, Feuerbacher elects to throw the slant, but it is broken up. And on 2nd and 10, they hand it off, and that is also stopped in the backfield. 14-0 lead going into the first quarter. They have net like 29 yards, and we have about 160. So feeling pretty good about our offense, but even better about our defense as it's 3rd and long. Feuerbacher throws it over the head of Ramon Green Jr., and we get the ball back at the opponent's 45. It's going to be a handoff to Antoine Riverman. He accelerates upfield, spins again, and he's looked elusive today. That is 9 carries, 50 yards, so about a little over 5 yards per carry. 1st and 10 now. Dante Selvia rolls right, buying some time, and he's going to try to throw it. No way that was picked off. He had enough to run here, but he tries to force it to Amon Belfast. And yeah, that's an interception. A costly play by St. Louis State. We were in the driver's seat, but a turnover can change momentum as Iverson Young gets the handoff there. 2nd and 9 after the gain of 1. And that is a quick pass to Jerron Askren, who is a conference-leading tight end who hasn't really seen action today. This time he's in the slot. They elect to run it. We stop them for a short gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Feuerbacher has time, and he's going to deliver it, but is incomplete to Brendan McQueen. So it is now 3rd and 7. They're going to elect to pass again. Feuerbacher hits the slant. That is Isaiah Morris on the catch for 1st down, and Matthew Green our safety nickel cornerback. He is injured on the play. Iverson Young gets a handoff on 1st and 10, and he breaks a couple tackles before he gets tackled for a gain of 2. Feuerbacher elects to take it on 2nd and 8. That is an option run by him for a gain of 1, and they hurry up to the line on 3rd and 7. They're going to snap it quickly. He drops back and throws it over the head of Iverson Young. Matthew Green, not to worry, everybody, he will return soon, and we get the ball back after Missouri State punts. And we're going to just keep handing it off to Antoine Riverman. Hopefully we can repeat the success of our first drive's running game, but so far they have made adjustments and stopped it. 2nd and 10, we're going to pass, and we're going to test single coverage again, and that is dropped by Gorgeous Rhodes. 3rd and 10 now. We're going to bring back the mesh concept in 12 personnel. But Dante Selvia is hit immediately and cannot deliver that ball to DeLorean Hampton. So we bring our punt unit on. And that is going to be Isaiah Morris receiving it. And he accelerates upfield, spins out Osborne Davis, and it is down at our 42. So they're going to start and set up shop in our territory on 1st and 10. It is a play action pass to Askren, and he gets 2 yards on the catch. 2nd and 8, they hand off to Iverson Young, and he accelerates, 1 man to beat, and he is tackled by Donovan McIntosh, but that is well in Jazzcats red zone, well in our territory, and that is going to be another run to Iverson Young. That time it is a gain of 3. Askren in motion this time. It's another handoff. He accelerates, and he's going to get down at the 2 after the gain of 14. We bring on our goal line set here, and they're going to hand it off to Green Jr., who gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. We bring in our goal line defense again. It's going to be a handoff to Green Jr., but this time he gets into the end zone. 14 Jazzcats, 7 Missouri State, halfway through the 2nd quarter. If we don't get this offense on track soon, it's going to be an ugly game as they stop our run again. Antoine Riverman stays in the game, this time to pass protect. That is going to be caught on the run by Amon Belfast. Other than the catch by Caleb Merritt, he's been the only receiver today. DeLorean Hampton, the tight end, has a catch, however. 1st and 10, we're going to pass here. Dante Selvia sees a huge gap in the middle of the defense and takes it himself into Missouri State territory at the 42. 1st and 10, under 5 minutes left. We hand it off again to Antoine Riverman. He finds a little bit of space for 5 yards. Trying to keep the tempo up here, take it to halftime, and hopefully get another touchdown. Dante Selvia, though, is sacked in the backfield for a loss of 8. And one of our players, Tyler Johingen, is injured on the play. He played right guard for us. 3rd and 13, single coverage. And caught, no, dropped by Caleb Merritt inside the 10. Maybe thrown too inside. Maybe Dante Selvia should have, you're kind of taught to throw that at the pylon, and Dante Selvia throws it towards the seam. When you see a single safety, middle field closed, you want to throw that towards the pylon, not towards the middle of the field. Missouri State takes over and already gets the 1st down. Not quite yet into Jazzcats territory, and we push them back even further as we get the sack. That is Richard Castellan. 2nd and 17, under 3 minutes left. Missouri State drops back. Feuerbacher finds his man. It's Askren, and he gets it into Jazzcats territory. 3rd and 7. We send a blitz. They're testing single coverage, and it's caught. Brendan McQueen for the touchdown, and Caleb Redd, our Mike linebacker, was lined up on their best receiver. And yeah, that's just not an outcome that's going to be in our favor as they get a touchdown to tie the game. And we go into the 2-minute drill before we take it to halftime. Screen play to Riverman here. And he gets swallowed up in the backfield. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. It is now 3rd and 9. We drop back. Dante Selvia tries to, it's a tight pass, but it is caught. That is Gorgeous Rhodes on the reception, his first of the day after being targeted earlier in the game and dropping it. This time it's a little bit of a drive concept. Amon Belfast on the catch, and he gets it to the 50-yard line. with a minute and a half left. We hurry up to the line of scrimmage. We're going to run the same concept from the other side, but they clear out, and Dante Selvey is able to scramble for 10. Well, it's 12 really, gets the first down and stops the clock. Middle field closed again. We elect to run with Antoine Riverman, and that is a gain of 7. Just over a minute left. They stay in cover 1, and we're going to use that to our advantage as we spread out the field horizontally, and that is a huge catch and run by Amon Belfast. They move to cover 2 now. We still test them deep. And that is caught. Caleb Merritt, back of the end zone. Yeah, you give him an opportunity to catch the ball there, and he's going to do it. 21-14 Jazzcats with under a minute left. Hopefully we didn't leave too much time for Missouri State here. Feuerbacher elects to keep it on the option on first down. He fumbles it, but it is picked up. That is Ryan Boyd on the fumble recovery. Still a loss of 6 on the play. And we got a pretty decent hit on their quarterback. Second and 16, that is caught. And he's chopped down for a gain of 9. Ryan Boyd on the reception. 40 seconds left. Feuerbacher in the backfield. He gets it. He delivers it to Brendan McQueen, who gets the first down. 33 seconds left. As long as we can take it to halftime with the lead, I'll be happy. And Feuerbacher is dropped in the backfield as 2 St. Louis State Jazzcats meet up on the sack. Second and 16 again, and they're just going to deliver it to Askren and take it to halftime. 21-14 Jazzcats. We've had some good moments, some bad, some defensive breakdowns. Really not happy leaving Caleb Red in single coverage with a slot wide receiver that with no safety help, really. I mean, it was kind of a blitz zero there, and our defense broke down, and Feuerbacher made a good pass. Missouri State comes out of halftime with the ball. They get a first down already, and this time they hand it off to Ramon Jr., and that is Donovan McIntosh laying down the law for the gain of 1. Feuerbacher, play action pass. He's trying to cover it, or test single coverage, and that's caught. Donovan McIntosh, after the huge tackle, gets the interception. I said he was testing single coverage. He was not. We had 2 safeties back there. He tests triple coverage, and it does not work out. He fails the test. First and 10 now, St. Louis State Jazzcats. We steal a possession, get the ball at the 15. Dante Selvia running around. Amon Belfast coming open on the back end, but Dante Selvia doesn't have enough time to find him. That is a loss of 18, putting us really scarily close to the end zone. And Dante Selvia feels that pressure and gets the ball away. We steal a possession. Let's just hope we don't let them steal it back. Dante Selvia, maybe a bad read there, trying to force it into double coverage. Lucky that he could not get the ball away. And after a bad punt, they start at the 37-yard line, and they're handing it off to Iverson Young, who gets a gain of 4. Second and 6. It is going to be another handoff to Iverson Young, who gets a gain of 1. They go into turbo, tempo, whatever you want to call it, but we are there. We dialed up the blitz at just the right time to push him to a punt instead of a field goal. And then we're going to hand it off to Antoine Riverman here, and he's got a lead blocker. That's Lipinski getting up to the second level. Second and 1 now after the gain of 9. We make some adjustments at the line of scrimmage here. Their halftime adjustment must have been moving to cover 2, because I was ready and prepared to attack cover 1, but they've made adjustments here. We come out after a huge loss on the play. That was a loss of 6. And then we throw for a tough gain of 2 and punt the ball away. And they're setting up shop already in our side of the field. It is a double play action, and we sack them for a loss of 8. That is our 6th sack of the day. And they're smart just to the screen here. And he has all the room in the world. Breaks 2 tackles. And that is Isaiah Morris on the screen catch, and he takes it all the way to the Jazzcats 31. And we were not prepared for that as Ramon Jr. gets the handoff here. He's making a couple people miss, directing traffic and getting down to the 22-yard line. And can we stop in the backfield? We can't. Ramon Jr. breaking another tackle. Caleb Red tries but fails to bring him down to the backfield. That is a first down for them, and Iverson Young now getting into the second level for a gain of 7. if we can't stop this run, we can kind of kiss this lead goodbye as Iverson Young tries to get out to the outside. Caleb Merritt there for the tackle. 3rd and inches. Missouri State elects to QB sneak it. 1st and goal on St. Louis Jazzcats 8-yard line. If we could hold them to 3, I'd be happy. It is a delayed handoff. Iverson Young makes a man miss for the touchdown, and that is going to tie the game up. Even though I feel like St. Louis State has looked the better team, the score disagrees as it is a tied ball game. And we're going to keep trying to feed it to Antoine Riverman, who has not been as efficient as he was in the first quarter. And he gets a loss of 3 on the play. We're going to elect to pass here, making some adjustments on the line of scrimmage. Jante Sylvia, he's going to keep it. And he is down at the 38, but gets the 1st down. Already a little less than 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. This quarter has gone by pretty quick. And we give the ball to Antoine Riverman again for a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, looking at this defense, we make a couple more adjustments. Going to be another handoff, maybe playing too conservative right now. But our passing game has not looked good either. 3rd and 5, we elect to pass. That is Gorgeous Rhodes on the catch and run. And he uses his speed to get to the outside and flip the field. We were on the 38 a few plays ago. Now we're on the opponent's 39. 1st and 10, we dial up a screen pass at just the right time. Antoine Riverman can't make a man miss, and it's only a gain of 1. 2nd and 9, just over a minute left in the 3rd quarter. It's going to be a QB keeper, QB designed run out of shotgun, and it's going to be a gain of 2. Don't know who we thought we were fooling there. 3rd and 7, they bring a little bit of pressure. That is a dangerous pass floated to Logan Langley. 4th and 7, we kick it. And we do barely make it. Luis Fonseca with the converted field goal. That gives us a lead of 3 at the brink of the 4th quarter. They're going to start their drive, however, with a huge pass to Ramon Green Jr., and he breaks a couple tackles. He's been tough to bring down today, and we really need to do tackle drills in practice. This is like the 5th straight week where we just can't tackle anybody. Feuerbacher keeps the ball there on the quarterback keeper. Gain of 3 as we go into this 4th quarter. And pause it if you'd like. This is the top 25 rankings in the Dynasty right now. And as we're getting closer, this is week 9 right now, or week 10. As we're getting closer to the end of the season, that playoff picture will reveal itself a little bit more. That time it is a screen pass, or just a shallow pass to Ramon Green Jr., who gets a gain of 5. They send a man in motion, and he has all the space in the world. And Vahalovitz is able to bring him down. And that counts as passing stats, unfortunately, for Feuerbacher. That gets him into the St. Louis State Jazzcats 12-yard line. They're in the red zone, and he's going to deliver a pass with pressure in his face. That's Brendan McQueen taking it down to the 1 on the gain of 11. 1st and goal. We bring out the goal line. And it doesn't matter. Iverson Young goes in and scores to take the lead for the first time of the day. Missouri State Bears leading by 3. Got a couple guys injured now, making some adjustments with our wear and tear. And we're going to keep handing the ball off to Antoine Riverman. Before we try to elect to pass on 2nd and 10, that is well designed, and it's going to be to LaDiamond Sprewell, who gets a gain of 5, and Heath Smith on Missouri State is injured. Drop back pass for Dante Sylvia. He passes it to Amon Belfast, but is short of the sticks, and we are forced to punt the ball down 4 within the 4th quarter. If we lose this game, this is the first loss in Missouri State St. Louis State Jazzcats rivalry history, better known as Ozarks versus Arches. Gain of 3 there. 2nd and 7 now for Missouri State. It is a QB option. He keeps it. And Feuerbacher, gain of 6, but chopped down by Osborne Davis, short of the sticks. 3rd and 1. We need to stop here. It's going to be a handoff to Ramon Green Jr., and we get it. Runs into his own man, not able to find the hole, and we get the ball back with 8.5 left. Surprise, surprise, another handoff on first down, gain of 1. Our run game has not looked good today, but we have still stuck with it. 2nd and 9, mesh concept. Dante Selvia flushed right, floats it, incomplete. So that brings up 3rd and long. Dante Selvia finds his man. That is Caleb Merritt, short of the sticks, gain of 4. 4th and 5. We're going to go for it, but we draw a man off sides. It is now 4th and inches. Missouri State in this exact same scenario a few plays ago elected a QB sneak. We elect a QB sneak here and get the conversion as well. 1st and 10 now, just over 7 minutes left. Delayed handoff. And that is Cordell Houston on the 2-yard gain. First time we've seen him today. This is a screen pass now to LaDiamond Spreewell. Antoine Riverman taking some time off on the sideline here in this 4th quarter. 3rd and 4 now. They only send 3. Dante Selvia feels like he has not enough time, so he rolls out. That is a dangerous throw, but a huge catch by Amon Belfast there. 2nd and 5, we hand it off to Cordell Houston. He reaches as much as he can for the first down. 3rd and inches, under 5 minutes left. And Dante Selvia, QB sneak for the first down. 1st and 10, Cordell Houston handoff, and he breaks a few tackles to get a gain of 9. We've seen him come into fourth quarter in a few games now and looked really good as the defense breaks down. Good to bring in power after the defense is already exhausted. 2nd and 7 after the run for 3. Cordell Houston gets the ball again, gets into the 2nd level, and that is a tackle at the 15-yard line, or the 20-yard line. We get a penalty that brings us 5 yards closer, and on 1st and 5, we run it for 1 yard. That brings us to the 2-minute timeout here in this 4th quarter, and I feel like we're in the driver's seat as Cordell Houston gets it within 5 yards of the end zone. Game plan here now is to drain the clock and try to get a touchdown. Cordell Houston up the middle for a gain of 1, and our Tom Bates, our best guard, injured on the play. Cordell Houston gets the ball again, and he gets into the end zone. We take the lead, but I'm nervous about leaving a minute left on the clock with how our defense has played. 1st and 10, Missouri State. Quick pass here to Ramon Green Jr. Quick gain of 8. They take a timeout. Only burned 5 seconds on that play. 2nd and 2, they got time. They're going to test it deep. Well, no, they take the check down, and they run up to the line of scrimmage on 1st down. Are they going to run a play here, or are they going to spike it? They run a play. 45 seconds left. Feuerbacher finds his man, Ramon Green Jr., catches it but runs out of bounds for no gain on the play, but at least it stops the clock. 40 seconds left, and that is Ramon Green Jr. with the catch, and he gets it to the 50-yard line. They only need a field goal here. We're leading by 3. Their field goal kicker isn't amazing, but he can hit it from at least 40 yards. So really, realistically, they need to get to about the 25 to have a chance. 25 seconds left after the 6-yard gain. Only 1 timeout left for them, so they spike it there. 3rd and 4. And they find their tight end down the seam. That is Askren on the catch. And they're not going to waste any time. They just elect to kick here before, you know, if it was me, I would try to score a touchdown. But they elect to kick to tie it up. We can't do anything on our end, so it's going to overtime in this rivalry game. If you don't know the rules, rewind and pause it. Basically, we each get a possession starting within the opponent's territory at the 25-yard line. The first 2 possessions, we can kick it. After that, we have to go for the 2-point conversion. We get a gain of about 9.5 on 1st down. Cordell Houston gets the handoff again on 2nd, but is stopped in the backfield. So 3rd and 1, game on the line. Cordell Houston gets a carry again, and he gets the 1st down. Gain of 2 on 1st down, so it is now 2nd and 8 in overtime. And that is Demetrius Day on the handoff, and he gets a gain of 1. 3rd and 7. It is empty, so expect some pressure here on 3rd down. Dante Selvia making it, and they do send pressure. Dante Selvia floats it up, and it's caught. That's Amon Belfast on the reception. That is a touchdown in overtime. We make the kick, so we lead by a touchdown. If we stop them here, we win the game. 1st and 10, and that is wide open. They tie it up literally in one play. We have Caleb Red here in coverage. He goes to cover the flat, and it just leaves the middle of the field completely open. Feuerbacher smart enough to get that, and they get back-to-back possessions. So we need to stop them one more time. 2nd and 7, and now we do have to go for 2. So even if they do score a touchdown, we have a chance to stop them for a 2-point conversion. And they get the first down there as Brendan McQueen takes it past the sticks. They're at the 15-yard line. They hand it out to Iverson Young, who cuts it upfield, breaks a tackle, reaches for the end zone, but he's down at the 1-yard line. They elect to go scat protection, but they hand it off as I thought they were passing it. We tackle the quarterback, but we don't tackle Iverson Young. They still need to go for 2, but they scored a touchdown, so now we're forced to score a touchdown when we get the ball back. Drops back, Feuerbacher passes it, and it is dropped by Askren. His first drop of the day. And yeah, if he caught that, he was wide open. That would have been a good 2-point conversion. So we just need a touchdown to tie it up, 2-point conversion to win it. Takes a little bit of the pressure off as we go for a QB design run again. This time it loses 4, last time it gained 2. On average, a bad play, I guess. 2nd and 14, Dante Selvia takes it himself, all teal in front of him. And he is just short at the 1-yard line. Dante Selvia, after a huge run, he takes it himself again, calls his own number, and we score a touchdown on that play. 2-point conversion incoming. Handoff to Cordell Houston. He shoves a guy. It's 2-point good. We win. Jazzcats win in overtime. We keep the undefeated streak against Missouri State going all the way back to FCS play. This is our 14th win, dating all the way back to 2011. 5-touchdown day from Dante Selvia, and that includes 1 passing touchdown in overtime and 1 rushing touchdown in overtime. As we see again here, he had about 3 guys about to tackle him, about to sack him, but he still delivers it across the middle of the field to Amon Belfast. That is high-level quarterbacking. 4 passing touchdowns, 1 unfortunate interception. Probably should have just kept the ball there when he tried to force it to Amon Belfast in the first quarter. Dante Selvia rushing touchdown, Cordell Houston rushing touchdown. Caleb Merritt 2 touchdowns, Amon Belfast 2 touchdowns, both just under 100 yards. Offensive line held up pretty well today, especially with how much they were blitzing us. A lot of sacks all over the field. 2 for Caleb Red, 2 for Kobe McBrien, 1 for Richard Castellan, and that Richard Castellan one was huge. And Luis Fonseca, 53-yard long today, and that was a huge kick. Missouri State, we're looking here, they're passing 354 yards for Cole Feuerbacher, 81% completion percentage. Rushing-wise, Iverson Young for 80 yards, and Green Jr. had 26, but Iverson Young 3 touchdowns on the ground. We allowed 4 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns today, and both of them to Brendan McQueen. We did, however, get a few sacks, and their offensive line stats don't look the greatest. They got a lot of tackles for loss on us, and that is Cameron Cooper with the sack there. And their kicker was also perfect on the day. We're going to advance here after we had a few recruits visit. And hopefully they make a decision. And we do have one player making a decision. That is halfback Marquis Funces, who signs with us. And that puts us in 3rd place in conference standings. And we still have Jackson State on our schedule, along with Western Kentucky and 18th ranked FIU, which we faced next episode. And we need to be perfect if we want to go to the conference championship. Here's the top 25. Michigan moving up, Miami moving up. And all the way down there at 18, moving up from 22, we have Florida International, 8-1 on the season. Hopefully next week we can make it 8-2. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope to see you soon. I know that is dependent on me, but thank you, and please leave a like, comment, do all that fancy YouTube stuff, and I'll see you next time.